Today we're here at the West Point Cemetery here in West Point, Indiana. And today we're looking for James Bryan Hellwig, who's most notably known as this guy, the Ultimate Warrior. Let's go see if we can find him. Now, from the front gates of the West Point Cemetery, you actually don't even want to go in. You want to turn left, and this is the direction that you will find the grave of the Ultimate Warrior. Now, Jim Hellwig was raised just south of here in the small town of Crawfordsville, Indiana. He was the oldest of 5 children, and after Jim's father split at a very young age, the family would endure financial and emotional difficulties. Jim Hellwig would turn to football and weightlifting at Fountain Central High School to fill the void. Quickly packing on muscle, Jim relocated to Georgia in pursuit of a bodybuilding career and won multiple events, including Mr. Georgia. And Jim was invited to California to train at the Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. He would eventually join up with an up-and-coming wrestling team, the Freedom Fighters, that also featured Steve Borden, who ended up being the future WCW superstar known as Sting. There'll be a bend in the road right here, and this grave says Funk on it. This beautiful tree, and you'll know that you're close to the Ultimate Warrior's grave. Look for Lester. Jim Hellwig would eventually go solo and jump to the Texas-based World Class Championship Wrestling, where he accumulated a sizable following as the Dingo Warrior. And finally becoming the Ultimate Warrior when he was hired by Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation. And here's his grave. Right here. James Bryan Hellwig, who legally changed his name to Warrior. He was born June 16th, 1959 and died April 8th, 2014 from a heart attack. Now, the Ultimate Warrior became a huge star with title matches such as beating the Honky Tonk Man in about 30 seconds for the Intercontinental Championship. And then he would go on to defend that championship by slamming Andre the Giant, a feat which not many wrestlers have done. But probably his biggest match was when he pinned Hulk Hogan fair and square right in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania 6. Looks like they have this set up as a family plot. There's 2 spots here for when his brothers pass away, and another headstone here for when his mother passes away. You can see on the back of her stone it says the mother of Gregory, James, Brenda, Jeffrey, Jay, and Becky. And of course, James Hellwig is the Ultimate Warrior. Another marker you could look for is there's a little white shack to the right of the Ultimate Warrior's grave. Right over here. Now, unfortunately, the popularity of the Ultimate Warrior never reached the success of a Hulk Hogan, and a feud between the Ultimate Warrior and WWF owner Vince McMahon would kind of mark the beginning of the end for the Warrior's professional wrestling career. He would make a few returns in the WWF and in WCW before retiring in 1998. He would go on to start a wrestling school in Scottsdale, Arizona, and also traveled as a conservative motivational speaker. And even though his relationship with the WWF ended on bad terms, in 2014, his wrestling accomplishments were acknowledged with an induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now sadly, the end of his life was very bittersweet. He was able to mend some old wounds and feuds during his Hall of Fame induction. And the next night, he was honored at WrestleMania 30. And just a few days later, he made his first appearance on Monday Night Raw since 1996. And the following day, died of an apparent heart attack traveling back to Scottsdale, Arizona on April 8th, 2014. Rest in peace, Jim Hellwig, also known as the Ultimate Warrior. Now, like I do with all the famous graves that I go to, I want to leave a few mementos for Jim Hellwig, aka the Ultimate Warrior. I want to leave my YouTube magnet, and I also want to leave this Ultimate Warrior figure. Now, if you come to West Point, Indiana to pay your respects to the Ultimate Warrior and find my magnet, feel free to take it. But leave the Ultimate Warrior figure for James Brian Hellwig. Alright, well, that's gonna do it. I just want to thank Jim Hellwig, aka the Ultimate Warrior, for all the great wrestling memories of when I was a kid. And until we meet again, I just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.